Okay, so I want to have a small, serious talk with you guys, but I gotta have some music in the background because it's gonna bother me if it's not on. Okay, so I tried making a video about the whole pot stuff and crap like that. Like, I was serious when I said that, like, I've done pot, and I really don't get what the big deal about it is. Like, if it's legal for people that have such bad pain and shit, then why can't we do it? Like, honestly. People are sneaking around and getting pot, like, however they can. They grow rooms. They grow it in their closet. They'll grow it in their little room, or wherever they can. They'll grow it in their backyard. They'll grow it in fields. They'll do whatever they can so they can get weed. So, why can't it just be legal, for Christ's sake? I don't get it. My dad makes it out to be the biggest deal in the world because he's never smoked pot. My mom makes it out to be the biggest deal in the world because she's never smoked pot. My sister smoked pot. My older sister. My brother smoked pot. My aunt has smoked pot. My other aunt has smoked pot. It's not that big of a deal. So why is it so wrong for me to smoke it when everybody else in my family has smoked it but my parents? Is it because I'm one of the younger children? Whatever the fuck I am? Weed is not that bad. I am not destroying my life because I'm doing it with my friends or I'm off doing it when I want to and blah 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 blah. Weed is okay. It's not that bad. It takes away my pain. Like, if I have a really bad headache that day and I go out and smoke some weed with my friends, I feel better. Like, it's not that big of a deal to smoke. If cancer patients can smoke, why can't I? If people who have daily headaches can smoke, why can't I? Like, it's very frustrating. And I really do honestly think weed should be legalized for an age limit. Like cigarettes and alcohol. Because minors don't know what they're getting into when they're smoking weed. I didn't know what I was getting into. I probably did screw up my high school career by getting into weed. But hey, it was my choice. And I really don't care. Because it is what it is. And we all have to learn from our mistakes. Now, other drugs besides weed, yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Acid, shrooms, ecstasy. There's a reason we got past the 60s. There's a reason we don't do those drugs anymore. And it's something I can see why we don't do anymore. But weed, I don't see the problem with it. I really don't. And I wish my parents would get past the fact that it's a problem, because it's not. I wish society would get back past the point that it's a problem, because it's not a problem. If we handle it right, it's not a problem. If it's legalized, it's not a problem. When it's illegal, it's a problem. It being legal, it's a problem because people have to sneak around to get it. That's when it's a problem. I wish this wasn't such a big deal. I wish it didn't have to be such a big deal. Because then I wouldn't worry about it so much. You know, like hippies, they smoke pot. When people go to big events like Electric Forest or other concerts, they're probably smoking pot. They're probably doing the other drugs that I was just talking about. They're probably doing... Actually, I know they're doing the other drugs I was talking about. They're doing acid, they're doing shrooms, they're doing TCU, they're doing TCI, or whatever the fuck it's called. They're doing acid, they're doing shrooms. I probably already mentioned acid. They're doing like everything they can get their hands on to make sure they're having the time of their life at that concert. Wouldn't you prefer that they're just doing weed? Because I know I would. Those other drugs can kill you way faster. To overdose on marijuana, you have to smoke your body weight in weed. That's a lot of weed. For somebody who weighs just 90 pounds, you have to smoke 90 pounds of weed. That is a lot of fucking weed. If you realize how much weed that really is, that is a lot of weed. Just imagine fucking 90 pounds of weed. Imagine carrying around 90 pounds of weed. That's more than a baby weighs. That's a lot of... Nobody can get... I don't even know anybody that can get their hands on that much weed that fast to overdose on it. You'd have to be like a grower or something. So it's practically impossible to overdose on weed. But ecstasy, acid, shrooms, TCU, Adderall, because people snort Adderall, those are easy to overdose on. Over-the-counter medication, those are easy to overdose on if you really wanted to. So marijuana is not that big of a deal. I'm not that concerned about it. I won't be that concerned about it if my kids want to start smoking it. But by the time I have kids, I'm hoping that it'll be legalized. Maybe a little bit more even. Maybe we will get to the point in our society where it's a little bit more legal. Because I don't want to have to worry and think, oh, are my kids smoking? Are my kids sneaking around behind my back so they can get drugs? I would prefer that they were just doing pot. I don't want them to get into other drugs. Like, I don't think that weed is a gateway drug to getting into other drugs, because I think it's your choice if you want to get into other drugs. Like, sometimes people, that's how they start out getting into other drugs, is their friend comes up to them and they're like, hey, you want to try these shrooms? Hey, you want to come over tonight and do acid with me? It's the best trip of your life. You see so much shit, and blah, 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 and all these colors, and blah. No, it's fucking not cool. It's gonna fucking kill you. It's what it's gonna do. Tripping is not right. Tripping is gonna fuck with your mind, fuck with your head, and fuck with who you are. Stick to being a smart person. If you're gonna do any drugs, do weed. Don't do Adderall, don't do acid, don't do shrooms. I'm a very opinionated person. I'm a very open-minded person. I've done many things in my life. I've done many stupid things in my life. Don't think I have. Don't think I'm just criticizing people. Trust me, I'm not. But you gotta be smart. You gotta listen to me. You gotta just stick with the weed, because it's where your smart decisions are. Everything else is gonna really fuck with you, fuck with your head, and fuck with the person you could be. You're gonna get addicted to those other drugs, and they're gonna tear into your soul, they're gonna tear into who you are, and you're gonna become a different person. And it's not right. That's not what you want with your life. I know these aren't like my usual videos, but I just needed to get this point across to you guys. You guys needed to know my view on weed, because I really don't want you guys doing anything major, destroying your life. Maybe a lot of you guys didn't know that you have to smoke your body weight in weed to overdose. I didn't know it for the longest time. I found it out like last week. I know my dad didn't know it. My dad's girlfriend didn't know it. You know, my mom doesn't know it. I'm sure my sister doesn't know it. So, you know, you learn something new every day. So just think about that. And think about how easy it is to overdose on acid, or something going wrong when you're doing acid. You can easily have a bad trip. Or on shrooms, you can get the wrong kind of shrooms, and they can kill you. Or with acid, something could go wrong with your acid, and it could kill you. You could end up in the hospital foaming out of your mouth. You don't know. I don't know, you could probably overdose on it. I'm not sure, but I'm positive you could overdose on it, but I'm not sure what else could go wrong with it. Because it makes you really awake and hyped and stuff like that, because you snort it. But yeah, just please, you guys, stick with the weed. Be smart, make smart choices. It's what's gonna help you out in life. Until then, keep watching my videos. I hope they help you out.